One of my favorite topics to talk and theorize about in Star Rail are the paths and the eons. Each of them is individually interesting. I mean, you have typical gods that represent destruction or harmony, but also more obscure ones like elation or the enigmata. There is, however, one path that I've never really been able to wrap my head around. It always seemed rather highbrow and perhaps too conceptual for my caveman brain. I mean, does anyone even understand what in the world the path of beauty even is? Well, after avoiding this topic for a while, in this video, I'm going to talk about it and see if I can explain it based on how I personally understand it. So strap yourselves in for a long and rambly video. Before we discuss this path further, if you want to see more Honkai Star Rail content, do consider subscribing to the channel. The path of beauty has been really difficult to understand, at least for me. If you looked in the Eon databanks, the path of beauty is described like this. Idrila, the Eon of Beauty, witnessed the ultimate meaning of the world's existence through the ever-changing view of the universe, known to the rest as the concept of beauty. What in the world does that even mean? For a long time, I've avoided making this video because I just didn't understand what this description meant. But recently, in Argenti's story quest, Himeko says something at the very end that just kinda clicked with me. Himeko essentially says that Idrila had long vanished from the universe, and some of the Knights of Beauty have different perspectives on the matter. Some, like Argenti, believe her to still be roaming in the universe, while others have accepted her disappearance as proof of her death. The reason why this clicked for me was because it's similar to that old saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And much like that saying, each Knight of Beauty had already reached their individual but different conclusions. It made me think that perhaps I should think of beauty as different from the other paths and is a rather unique path in that it's a constantly changing concept. If you consider the other paths like destruction, no matter where in the universe you go or who you ask, destruction is destruction. There isn't an alternative way of understanding the meaning behind it. Beauty, however, is subjective. One person may view something as beautiful while others may not. In our own history, what was considered as beautiful has changed several times. In the past, beauty standards revolved around girth, as women of larger stature were thought to be more suitable to bearing children, while today, common beauty standards are largely different. Even in art, this has largely been the case. Van Gogh's art, for example, has only been appreciated in the near modern age, but not as much when he was still alive. Beauty is largely a subjective thing, which makes the path rather unique. So when it mentions that Idrila witnessed the ultimate meaning of the world's existence through the ever-changing view of the universe, what I think it meant is likely that the universe is made to constantly change, and that is its true nature. What makes it more interesting is that for a while now, Idrila has been said to have disappeared. I've talked about how the universe of Star Rail is currently in an immutable state, as fate is something every person is tied to and is largely unchangeable. Perhaps this is why Idrila vanished. Having seen the true nature of the universe, one which promotes constant change, a universe where that is no longer true is one that is fundamentally flawed, at least from the perspective of beauty. Maybe Idrila has left in search of a way to revert this, or perhaps the moment the universe took this new form, beauty itself ceased to exist, as there is no beauty in constancy, and Idrila disappeared along with that understanding of it. Though her disappearance or perhaps even death isn't something we can accurately speculate on at this point, because it hasn't been confirmed. If beauty is indeed interpreted in this way, it makes the path of beauty a rather complex concept, as it requires one to understand things on a deeper level. As beauty is such a malleable concept, every living being is likely able to contribute to it. Some may find the finality of destruction to be just as beautiful as the preservation of a particular planet or people. It's a concept that can fundamentally bring opposing ideas together and makes me think that beauty may have been around longer than we might think. Now, I don't know if my interpretation of it is correct here. Maybe I'm still as confused as when I started this video, and none of what I talked about in the past few minutes makes any sense at all. But I think that beauty is likely one of those paths that sits on a higher conceptual plane than the others we are used to, which are more direct and primal in nature. What that means for the story, however, we can only guess. Let me know what you think beauty actually stands for and where Idrila might have gone in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, do consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and as usual, have a nice day.